Okay, so why is Bitcoin such a big deal? This video is just going to touch on 4 of the big factors that I think uh, mean and just help you understand how big a deal this entire leap in technology actually is. So if you understand, the 4 things that we'll be going through, when all these new applications come out, and there are going to be dozens and dozens of them over the next, number of years, instead of them all going over your head and thinking, this is, just too much for me, you'll be able to understand exactly how this actually fits into the fabric of society that we've created, and how this is just a natural extension of where we've been going for a very long time. And so the first one I'd like to talk about is digital scarcity. So up until Bitcoin time, there was no way for anyone to actually really certify and verify and know for a fact that something that was sent online was the original. Okay, you could get a contract or a photo, you could send it to a couple of mates and they could send it to 1,000 other people, but there was no way to actually know which one came first, which one was the original. And because we can now actually do that with the work that with mining and the new technology that's being used, we have digital scarcity now, and that is a massive deal. And if we can have digital scarcity tracking a number of things, or even just one thing and how many of them, it gives us the ability to create an immutable database. This is huge. This allows us to accurately record history. So imagine if we actually had a verifiable and accurate representation of every single war that has happened in the past, or when during Jesus' time, or even just understanding, having the exact record of your 1987 tax return or anything. Everything can be changed. If you have the keys to the database, like a bank or a government, you can go in and you can literally rewrite history. You can take money away from someone else. You can change the records of something. By having an immutable database, it is we've never had it before, and it's an amazing thing to be able to have access to. We now have the ability to accurately record history. Enormous breakthrough. And those two coupled together allow us to create a new layer of the internet. And so how I like to think of it is, so email, when email came out, everyone was saying, are you on the email? As if email was the entire internet. And of course we know now that it's not the entire internet. Email is literally just one application on the internet. And we can consider that the internet of information. The internet allows us to send information in a way that's quick, easy, cheap, reliable, all that kind of thing. Okay. And so what Bitcoin allows us to do is send value in a way that's quick, easy, cheap, and accurate. So I like to think of it, you've got the internet of information and you've got the internet of value. And just like email was the first application of the internet of information, well, Bitcoin is the first application of the internet of value. And it is a massive deal. We're going to see many, many, many more applications on this. We can't even imagine the things they're going to become, just like we didn't even know that Twitter was going to be coming our way, or Facebook, or many of the other things that we use the internet for. And another massive reason why Bitcoin is a big deal is it gives us, for the first time, the ability to have the separation of money and state. So millions of people have died because in the public, every single war is either over a power of some sort. So it's either over money or religion, or they say it's religion, but it's really over money and power. And by actually having the ability to separate money from state, it'll have a similar effect of what we had when we actually had the separation of religion and state. If you were of the wrong religion, or you believe the wrong things, and it still happens in some places in the world today, you can be killed. Okay, it's regardless of whether it's silly or not, it's wrong, and it's unnecessary. And if we have the option to separate those things, it's a massive, massive deal. And if you're lucky enough to live in a place in the world where you don't need to really worry about the government and things are pretty safe, well, then that's fantastic. That's good for you. But that is not the majority of the world. The vast majority of the world have to deal with a situation where at any time, and even now in Australia, the government could go into my bank account and take everything I own. Okay, but it's, Australia is pretty much a safe place. If you're watching this, odds are you're in a pretty safe place around the world. But if you ask anyone from Cyprus, Greece, Argentina, Brazil, Venezuela, half of Africa, Russia, um, the problem of waking up in the morning and having the money that was there yesterday not be there today is a real it's a real threat. It happens, and so by actually separating those things, it's a massive deal. It gives control back to the people. It takes the hierarchy of a system away, and it flattens it out into a pure market, into a free market. And so that's kind of why you hear libertarians talking about it, and they got very excited about it back in the early days. So they're the four things: digital scarcity, immutable database, a new layer of the internet, so the internet of value, and the separation of money and state. If you understand those four things, you understand why Bitcoin is a massive deal. If this was helpful, feel free to like and subscribe. And I'm going to be making a lot more videos, like delving in a little bit deeper on all of these kind of issues. So if there's anything particular that you'd like me to be talking about, just let me know. But other than that, hope you enjoyed it, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.